Hello everyone, welcome to DTBTV. I'll just wait for a few years to join. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about yesterday, the frustrating part of yesterday. Now, frustrating for me, being a former striker, I was like trying to shoot every time we had the ball in them areas where you should shoot. And I think that yesterday was our main problem. It was like watching Arsenal a few years ago, where they were always trying to play the perfect pass. They were always trying to pass it to the left or to the right or to the, trying to score what's called the perfect goal. So with regards to that, that was probably the most frustrating thing yesterday. Alisson was fantastic in goal. It probably saved us from losing. But as regards to the performance, I think the performance was good. I think the first 20-30 minutes we had, obviously there was only one side trying to win the game in the first half, and if you listen to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer afterwards, he said exactly the same. He said that he smelt blood and believed that this was the time to come and beat Liverpool at Anfield with all of our injuries, and also the fact we had two midfielders at centre back. So at the end of the day, if you look at it like that, a draw is a good result. As regards to Manchester United, they're 3 points clear. It's absolutely nothing. I'm more worried about Man City. Man City are now capable of going on a 15 straight winning run of games. So the rubbish I've seen in the media today about Liverpool, we'll be happy with just getting in the Champions League is absolutely disgraceful. That's just not how it's going to be, and not how it should be. So that's a load of rubbish, a load of nonsense. We're not sitting here hoping we get in the top four, because we will get in the top four. What we've got 20 games left. Is it 20 games or 21? I think it's 20. Yeah, 20 after yesterday. 20 games is over half a season, right? We're not going to have the same amount of injuries in the second half of the season as we've had in the first half of the season, I don't think. The players are up and running now, they're fit, they're healthy. Thiago will get better every single match he plays, more minutes, more getting to know his teammates. Do you know what's crazy? Is the fact that that was his Anfield debut on January the 17th, and he was a signing in the summer. Unbelievable. So that shows you exactly what we've lost. If Thiago didn't get nailed against Everton, and Van Dijk get nailed at Everton in this same game, don't forget, we've lost them players for equivalent of a year, if you think about it, because one's come back after 6 months, really. It's just mad to think that's how long he's been out, because he wasn't even needing operating on or something for Thiago. It was literally just, it was just twatted in the knee, and there was no rumours he was going to be out for as long as he was. So that one absolutely got me frustrated. But again, yesterday, going back to the performance was sound. It was just the fact that we just tried to walk the ball in the net, and I don't know what's happened to Mohamed Salah. Every time Salah, this was 12 to 18 months ago. Every time he used to cut in on his left foot, it'd be like Coutinho. You'd expect it to be whipped into the top corner. He's not even shooting anymore. He's stopped shooting. I mean, this is the Mo Salah we used to moan couldn't pass the ball to Mane. But he's trying to give the ball to Mane all the time now. For me, do you know what? The strikers are that shot of confidence. None of them are taking any shots, because they're thinking, oh, I might miss it. I'll give it to Bobby. Or I might miss it. I'll give it to Mo. And then he's thinking, oh, I don't want it. I'll give it to you. And it's just stupid. And I said this morning, last night, we need to go in the market for a striker. And everybody went, oh, you're going mad about our front three, you're not backing them. Can I say something? I didn't mean to start, I meant someone to come off the bench. And don't tell me there's nobody out there. Of course there's somebody out there. We just need to get somebody that can be an impact sub. Origi's head's gone. He's took his affiliation with the club off all of his social media accounts. He is basically waiting on going to somebody in January. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Villa or somebody like, a Southampton or anyone comes in for him, right? So he's gone. So we don't have a striker on the bench. And that's not good enough. We needed a goal yesterday to win the game, and we're bringing on Curtis Jones and James Milner. We're not going to win any games with that. So, all right, saying Jota's back. No, he's not. He's nowhere near back. He's still in he's still in a knee brace. I said this yesterday. The chief writer of Liverpool said yesterday that Klopp has said there's no timescale on Jota coming back. They're saying early February. Well, how's that going to work when he's not even out of a knee brace yet? So how's he going to be playing by the start of February, which is in, 12 days? don't sit right with me. I don't think he'll be back till March. So listen, by March we might be out the title race. So I'm just saying, you telling me there's not a striker we can't get on loan till the end of the season? You know, somebody could come on. You know, it frustrates me now. I wish we'd have kept Danny Ings. You know, everyone says Ryan Brewster. Ryan Brewster just can't cut it in the Premier League. He's shown that. He's not even scored a goal for Sheffield United. So it's frustrating. Defensively we look sound. And I read out the stats yesterday. Even though everyone didn't want Henderson, neither did I at centre-back with Fabinho. Apart from the mistake by Trent Alexander-Arnold at Southampton, defensively we looked sound. We did, but the thing is, you want Henderson's energy in the midfield, and Fabinho, I think Fabinho's a world-class centre-back. I actually really do. I think if we'd have brought, if this had been a January transfer window and we'd have brought Fabinho in as a new centre-back, we'd be raving about him. Because basically, that tackle he made on Rashford when Rashford burst through, the timing of it, he's reading the game. He nailed flipping Fernandes as well, which I absolutely love. He's brilliant for Fabinho. In fact, to be honest with you, I'd keep him at centre back with Van Dijk. I actually really would. Bring a centre back in, obviously, but I mean, we played Bayern Munich at Anfield 0-0. Fabinho. We played Fabinho at Stamford Bridge. We won, clean sheet. You know, I think he's brilliant at centre back, Fabinho. So I'm saying the priority at this moment in time, if Klopp is saying he's fine with his defenders, and you can see why with the amount of goals we're not conceding. Let's not forget when we had Van Dijk and Gomez at centre back against Villa, we lost 7-2. So the point is, I think defensively, I thought I was screaming out for this kid from Real Madrid because he's a loan with an option to buy. It's a no-brainer. Then you've got a recognised centre half who's won La Liga, who's played in the Champions League. He's 22. He's a Brazilian international. So to me, I was thinking, no-brainer. Get him in on loan. If it works out, then pay the money in the summer. Job done, right? But the fact is, I'm trying to think now. Strikers. I'm not being funny. You've got that Arnautovic in China. He's great in the Premier League. You know, how much would he cost to get in this window? You know, you've got other strikers out there. There's plenty about. You know, go and get one that'll do a job, even coming off the bench. Someone that's happy to be sort of like in and out. You know, the big ones like Mbappe and Haaland, you're never going to get them in January anyway. And I think we'd need to sell Salah to get one of them. And again, my comments about Mo Salah. Since that Egyptian teammate of his has come out and said that he's not happy at Liverpool, he has been below average. He's not shooting. Luke Shaw marked him out of the game yesterday. Luke Shaw's a fat idiot. He's shit. Should have ran at him. Didn't want to take him on. Kept on squaring it inside. I agree with Graham Souness. So to me, I mean, a striker is a necessity in this window. Or Jota comes back quicker, but he's not going to come back. He's still in a knee brace. So if he's still in a knee brace, you're looking at what, 1, 2, 3 weeks of training before you even start kicking a ball properly. He's got to run, he's got to twist, he's got to turn. So if Thiago didn't need an operation and he was out from August until flipping 2 weeks ago, then what's this one for Jota going to be? It frustrates me now because we should never have played him against Midtjylland. The game was already wrapped up, we'd already qualified, and that was a massive mistake. And, you know, it worries me. And I said this 2 weeks ago, and I got so much grief for it. Gini's head has been turned, right? He's angry at the club not giving him the wages he wants. Plus Barcelona, for any Dutchman, is a dream location. You ask the people of Frank Rijkaards, the Mark Overmars, the Patrick Kluiverts, you know, the what's his name, De Jongs and that. They're all there. They all want to be there. The Dutch contingent with Barcelona is huge. He's 30. He's won the Premier League. He's won the World Club Cup. He's won the Super Cup. He's won the flipping Champions League. He's 30 years old. We should thank players like him and say, thank you, we've been waiting 30 years for the league title, so go with our blessing. But the fact is, at the moment, we've got one player who's already in Barcelona, even though I thought he played well yesterday, he got about the pitch well. But he's not. If you drop 5%, then I'm sorry, we're not going to be the best team. And Salah, the reason why his goal record's so phenomenal is because he was a greedy bastard. He would always shoot, he'd always take the opportunities himself. But now he's not asked because he's just passing it to a teammate. You know, what's going on? These are three of the most feared front three in the world, right? Bobby, I feel sorry for Bobby a little bit because his game was never really about goals. So he was just used to lynch, you know, Mane and Salah in. But because they're not firing now, Bobby's in the firing line. But Bobby's job was never really to get the 20 or 30 a season. That was the 40 or 50 that Salah and Mane would get between them. So it's a mad one, but something needs to be done. We cannot go in. we're basically just giving away our title. And I've been a massive fan of Fenway Sports, but we have to go in this window. We cannot go through this window with bringing nobody in. And I'll tell you why. Because bringing somebody in, what did Gerrard used to say? Every time we sign somebody, training would go up a notch. Because one, you would want to impress your teammate of the quality he's coming in to train with, and two, you know, a player fitted for his position, so he would up his game. So if we brought in a striker now, you know, people would say, and do you know what, I'm going to say this and it might cause a bit of controversy. Diego Costa is available on a free. Diego Costa is on a free at the moment. He's been released by Atletico Madrid. Are you telling me Diego Costa couldn't do a job for us? Even coming on as a sub, you know, holding the ball up. He's a Premier League winner. He scores goals in the Premier League. He'd be getting about the pitch. He'd be winding people up. Why not? It's only short term. Get him in till the end of the season. He'd play for us, Costa, easily. There's players out there on the market. Like I said, Arnautovic wants to come back to England. You know, West Ham are on about getting back in. He's a good player. Could play on either flank, left or right. We've got to do something to shape it up. So that's my opinion. But Diego Costa, even though we hate him, we used to sing the Elephant Man to him. I actually do think that short term, imagine that. Can you imagine the level of training going up if Diego Costa walks in? You know, Firmino, Mane and Salah, I'm thinking, fucking hell, you know, that's, you know, Diego Costa. You know, he's won the Premier League. He's, you know, he's a fucking unit as well, isn't it? Playing him down the central free with Mane and Salah. You know, he'd get it back, he'd flick on headers. You know, something like that. That's just an example, by the way, before everyone starts going mad. And I screamed about Jack Grealish the other day. Jack Grealish in that midfield three yesterday would have been creating everything. And another one. So, I'm going to say this. If, and it's a big IF, right? If Salah wants to go, you have to take control now of the fact that his peak value is now. You wait 6 months, you wait here, look at Mbappe. Mbappe's now lost, what, 50 million at least on his valuation because his contract's running lower and lower by the month, and that's it. So to me, I would go with getting a striker in just to ruffle a few feathers, because like you say, Jota woke up our front three and they started to play. At the moment, it's like anything. It's like Trent at right back. He played better yesterday, but he still gave the ball away too many times, playing these Hollywood passes. Right? Get out those defenders. Switch the play. We're not crossing it enough. We're waiting to tuck back in and play it back into the inside to Ronaldo and Thiago. So it's not frustrating because it was a good draw in a way. Think about it. Man United came here with the best away record in the Premier League. Right? They were disappointed they couldn't win the game because they knew Liverpool were a wounded animal with the injuries at the back and the bad run of form. So if anything, 6 points clear Man United this morning would have been a bad travesty, but they're not. They're one defeat away from losing top spot. And I tell you what, Fulham away midweek won't be an easy game because Scott Parker's got them playing well at the moment, and we know that ourselves. So don't rule out this Man United team doing what they normally do, which is a shock result to a shit side, because that's what they're capable of. Like Roy Keane, before he starts licking Man United's arses now like he's doing, used to say that these players will throw you under a bus. They're still the same players, and they will do, right? I generally think that lovely squad bond we had is a little bit missing, and that's because they know Gini's going to be on his way soon. They know that Salah wants to leave, so that little bond of us all being in this together, it's just dropped 5%. So you need to bring in people now that want to wear the shirt and want to be here long term. Everything has a sell-by date to it. Our front three has been amazing, but the front three are now on the wrong side of 30 nearly. You know, well, nearly 30, sorry. So you've got Bobby who's 29. You've got, I think Salah's 29 nearly. You've got Manny, I think he's 29 nearly. I think they're all about similar age really. But what they got left in them, 18 months to 24 months of being at that level. So we need the next front three. It's like Ferguson used to do. My friend said that to me today. You know, Ferguson always had the next one coming through to replace that person, you know? And that's what we need to have, the same mentality. We can't just keep relying on that front three all the time. We've got to go out there and get the next piece. I just said short-term Diego Costa because that would ruffle a few feathers. And like I say, he knows what it's like to win the Premier League. He knows he put himself about. I mean, I think if we threw him on instead of Divock Origi yesterday, we could have put crosses in the box because Costa would have got a head on it. And this is what I'm trying to say. Somebody like that is out there. Now, my mind goes blank when I'm live, but I can guarantee you there's 10 or 11 options out there for Liverpool to get. This loan with an option to buy. This pandemic has made a lot of clubs financially stricken. You put in a decent €20 million bid now for a striker that can be happy to be on the bench, it will get accepted. There must be somebody in Germany knocking about that Klopp knows. There must be somebody in France knocking about You know, all right, and here's one. What about that Sarr from Watford? What would he cost? You know, 15, 20 million? Get him in. Get him in just to have somebody else, another option. You know, that's my point. So, anyway, let me know what you think. In fact, before I go, actually, I'm going to do players' ratings. I'm just going to go through the players' ratings, actually, because today I'm going to chill out a bit. So, this is my only live video today. So, we're going to start off with player ratings. My Shaqiri one, my son spilled a bit of tea on yesterday, so I'm going to have to replace him. So, I've got no Shaqiri one, but we'll get to him in a minute. Right. So, Alisson, absolutely outstanding. The reason why we're waking up this morning with a draw. 9 out of 10. Next one, Andrew Robertson. Did all right. You know, not his best really. 7 out of 10. My man of the match, 9 out of 10. Fabinho. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Next one is Jordan Henderson. So Henderson put himself about, good on the ball. But I just think he would have been better off up the pitch, but we understand why he was put there. 8 out of 10. Next one. Midfield. Oh, have I done Trent yet? I've done Trent, no. 2 seconds. Trent, sorry. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Better than Southampton. I would say he got 7 yesterday. Gave the ball away again too many times, but, you know, he's getting there. He just had a bad game against Southampton. 7. Gini Wijnaldum. Put himself about, you can never question his efforts, you can never question his commitment, but we need to start thinking of a replacement for him long term as from this summer. And I've already screamed that with Jack Grealish. That's my opinion. You let me know yours. But there you go, Wijnaldum. Because then you could have Thiago and Hendo sitting, or or Fabinho and Hendo sitting, and you could have Grealish in that hole and it'd rip amok. So that's 7 out of 10 for Wijnaldum. Great effort. And then we've got Thiago. I think he was a 7. I thought he played really well, gets on the ball, and he will get better with more minutes and games. Mo Salah, 6 out of 10. Couldn't get past Luke Shaw once. Wasteful on the ball, not strong enough. That's what we used to talk to him about, his strength, and didn't ever try to shoot on goal. 6. Sadio Mane started well, really good trickery, always gives 110%. I'll give him an 8. Everything goes through Mane, and at least he tries to go forward and get at defenders. Bobby Firmino, 7 out of 10. Not really his fault. You know, he does the pressing. His job up there is to press, unsettle, win the ball back really, and that's what he's always been like that. He will have his games. He'll come back. 7 out of 10. And that's my starting 11 done. So, yeah. Sorry, Shaqiri, 6 out of 10. Sorry, my son has put a bit of tea on that, so I'll have to get it sorted. So, yeah. So, let me know what your comments and your thoughts on my little. I wouldn't say a rant. It's just frustrating. It's Manchester United. Let's hope we beat them in the FA Cup. But honestly, I mean, Diego Costa on a free. Come on, just to ruffle some feathers. You know, you've got class players like that on frees. You know, get somebody in short term. Ismail Sarr from Watford, somebody in. You'll get him for 15 million quid. We've got to bring somebody off the bench. We're not going to win the league bringing on Milner and Curtis Jones to get us a goal. That is as simple as it. You'll never walk alone.